Am I the only one that gets into fights with their parents almost on a weekly basis? It just feels like whenever we're trying to have a conversation, a serious conversation at least, there's this always this one thing we just can't seem to see eye to eye on. And now, don't get me wrong, my parents are very, very nice people. They're very open minded relatively to other parents. They taught me to love and respect everyone growing up, no matter where you come from, no matter what you believe in. But they were taught to think in a different way. And like they were just born in a different place. There's a lot of stuff that we do that they wouldn't imagine doing back then. Like whenever I talk to my parents about them growing up, like they always tell me like they'd sleep at 9 p.m. maybe, or they'd come back from school, study for like 3 hours, and then just sleep, do nothing maybe. But there's a lot of stuff also that they think or that they do that wouldn't be accepted maybe today. Uh, like we all have this grandpa. You wouldn't want to put a mic on him or let him speak in public. He probably thinks all these crazy things, or like at least one crazy thing. Where like if you put him in public, you'd just be like, oh no, he's not my grandpa. I don't know this guy. But yeah, like you wouldn't usually think this is a big issue. Like, mostly it's for teenagers, like they're trying to figure out their life maybe as they're growing up, and they're always fighting with their parents. But we kind of have this problem here in Lebanon where we like to hold on to things we believe in, and maybe to cultural norms, but like most of them are harmless. But there's a couple of very serious ones. We have this actually not had this very big epidemic of men just abusing women, whether it's fathers abusing their daughters, whether it's parents selling off their 10 or 15-year-old daughters to 40, 50-year-old men to have to get married to them, or whether it's husbands forcefully having sex with their wives when they don't want to, just because like 20 years ago it was thought that, oh, I'm the man, I get to decide when we want to have sex and when we don't. And it's gone a bit too far nowadays, because like to this day you think like we're in 2018, like no one would defend these people. But a couple of videos came out a couple of years ago, over the couple of past years, and they've shown like people standing up against this kind of stuff, but there were also people in favor for it. And I say we've had enough of this kind of stuff, to be honest. um, Lebanon isn't going anywhere. We like to think we are, but as long as we think or act the way we still do, these kind of stuff aren't going away anytime soon. Like politics is a big example. Like we've had the same political system for maybe 30 years. It's obvious it didn't work, but we still keep it anyways because it's supposed to cause less fights between religions or ethnicities or whatever. But those kind of stuff aren't just going away. And I say we've really had enough. Our brightest and smartest graduates or students or like workers, they're all leaving for better places. And there's a couple different stuff that we can do. Maybe on a family level, you can just sit with your parents and like have a talk with them. It's kind of easy. It's not that hard. But when it comes to society, we just have to stand up. We just have to not accept the kind of stuff that are still going on today. We should push for like a better Lebanon where everyone can grow and stop thinking about ourselves. And like for the government at least, maybe start voting for people you actually believe in, and protest the stuff that you don't believe. You shouldn't just sit around and do nothing while these kind of stuff are happening. At least like 20% of my friends have already traveled, and maybe more of them are on the way. They're just getting their papers ready or something. But I say, I say we need to stop. We need to stop thinking the way we think. We need to stop holding on to, like, I'm not saying like just let go of whatever we used to believe in and just like throw it all in trash can or something. But we need to start thinking about how we want to move forward with our country, with our society at least, and start standing up to these backwards ways of thinking, or these false promises that were given almost every elections by these politicians, that all they care about is maybe themselves or their families or whatever, and they put the country the country at a very big risk of just collapsing over itself.